So the Senate passed a deal last night. And while that may seem like a great step in the right direction, many people, myself of course included, see right through this charade. Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. We're literally less than 25,000 away. So hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share, because this insanity, it's got to stop. So again, late last night, 8 senators, 8, who usually caucus with the Democrats, they broke rank and they voted to advance a Republican plan to fund most federal agencies through January. Now, the Senate can formally debate the measure before a final vote. Now, it's important to note that 2 of the 8 senators are actually retiring at the end of their term. Let me tell you who the 8 are. First, you have Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois, who, by the way, is retiring. Then you have Senator Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire, who is also not seeking re-election. Senator Angus King of Maine, who's an independent. Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia. Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. I mean, no shock there, right? Senator Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada, and Senator Jackie Rosen of Nevada. Those are our 8. And today, Senator Angus King went on MSNBC to talk about the vote and claimed that standing up to Trump just wasn't working. Play the clip.
Well, Joe, you have to go back to what the strategy was at the beginning of the shutdown. There were 2 goals, both of which I support. One was standing up to Donald Trump. The other was getting some resolution on the ACA premium tax credit issue. The problem was the shutdown wasn't accomplishing either goals, and there was there was zero likelihood that it was going to. In terms of standing up to Donald Trump, the shutdown actually gave him more power, Exhibit A being what he's done with SNAP and SNAP benefits across the country. Oh, by the way, Joe, you're going to love this. Guess who's getting paid during the shutdown? Not the park rangers or air traffic controllers, the ICE agents. Under special law, under that big, awful bill that they passed last summer, the ICE agents are being paid. Nobody else is. So standing up to Donald Trump didn't work. It actually gave him more power.
No, Angus, absolutely not. The so-called, as I write in my Substack of today, the cowards of Capitol Hill, and I'm talking about you, the so-called deal to reopen the government gives Democrats nothing. Nothing. No permanent extension of the Affordable Care Act subsidies, no concessions on policy, not even a genuine commitment in good faith government. What they got instead, you know what you guys got? You got a handshake agreement to have a vote in December. A vote. Not passage, not protection for millions facing skyrocketing premiums, just an agreement to agree that they might, maybe, possibly, someday will discuss it. Now, Senator Shaheen, who's also retiring, weirdly went on Fox and Friends saying that she believes Republicans will vote to keep down healthcare costs. Thank God she's retiring. Play the clip.
Can you give us an idea, and our viewers an idea, what happened behind the scenes?
Well, there had been discussions going on really since the shutdown about how could we work together to end this? How could we make sure that we can address health care costs for the millions of Americans who are seeing their health care costs rise as the result of the bill that was passed in the summer that the president wanted? And so I think this agreement gives us an opportunity to continue to do that work. We're going to have a vote, and I believe there are a number of Republicans who are going to join us in trying to address health care costs for Americans, but we're also turning the government back on. We're making sure that the people of America can get the food benefits that they need, that air traffic controllers can get paid, that federal workers are able to come back, the ones who were let go, that they get paid, that contractors get paid, that aviation moves forward. So we are going to be able to continue to fight about health care.
The worst kind. This is political theater. And once again, Democrats like Senator Shaheen, they're playing the role of the supporting cast in this GOP production called How to Lose Without Really Even Trying. And today, Senator Tim Kaine, another coward, also went on TV to talk about a future vote on health care. Play that clip.
I hear you on the wins that you notched on SNAP, on RIFs. Those, of course, were administration pain points over the course of the last 40 some odd days. But on the issue of health care, again, you have a lot of colleagues, and I know you've heard from them privately as well, who are concerned that there's not enough being done tangibly on health care. You talk about the floor fight, but the idea that a guaranteed vote isn't a guaranteed outcome, I think, is really sticking in a lot of people's minds. So how do you talk with your colleagues, and do you understand their point of view that say, we did have a big win on Tuesday. We held out for 40 days. What did we get here?
I completely understand their point, and I would go back to them. Do you think the R's are going to give on the ACA a week from now after more SNAP recipients get hurt and more people can't travel to visit? Do you think it'll, in 2 weeks, do you think they'll give? Do you think they'll give in a month? There was no credible argument that, yeah, we think they're going to give. And we were having this fight as the volume was getting turned up about SNAP and about air traffic chaos and about tariffs and about everything else. Now we get to have the fight in the full view of the American public, just this issue, Dems v. Rs. We're going to put a proposal on the table that we'll write, that will be maximally designed to help Americans, and that will be attractive to the Rs who are telling us, we know we got to fix this. They'll vote.
What a fool. Let me tell you what these guys did. They literally broke and crossed the aisle under the banner of this fake pragmatism, ending the shutdown. Let me translate what it really means. They surrendered. They rolled over. They bent the knee. They handed Trump and the Republicans a win without extracting a single ounce of leverage in return. Because apparently, some Democrats, these 8, still believe that the other side negotiates in good faith. Newsflash, dummies. They don't. And last night, Senator Bernie Sanders spoke on the floor about how the potential future vote is a meaningless gesture. Play that clip.
Now, I know as part of this resolution that the majority leader is going to say, well, Democrats can put together their own bill, and it'll come to the floor here in the Senate for a vote. As everybody here knows, that is a totally meaningless gesture. You can get 100 votes here in the Senate. Won't mean anything because the House is not going to take it up, and the President of the United States certainly will not sign it.
Yeah, don't just talk, throw them out. And I'm not talking about the 2 that aren't coming back. I'm talking about the rest of them. And last night, a reporter asked Senator Shaheen if this vote is a capitulation. Play the clip.
You say you're fighting on the Affordable Care Act, but what do you say to your colleagues who say this isn't a fight, this is a capitulation? You're putting together, you're agreeing to a vote on a bill that it almost certainly will not become law, and you're allowing that to happen.
Well, first of all, as long as the government shut down, the clear statement from Senator Thune and the Republican majority, and they control the Senate, the House, the White House, was we will not talk about health care with you. So there was no vote that we were going to get on the Affordable Care Act, premium tax credits.
Yeah, wrong. Meanwhile, Senator Shaheen seemed, well, let's just say a bit naive, saying that all the Republican leaders want is to lower healthcare premiums. Play that clip.
I'm 100% committed to getting this done. President Trump, Speaker Johnson, and Leader Thune, along with many rank-and-file Republicans, say they want to keep healthcare premiums at their current rate. With the government reopened, we must move quickly to deliver on that promise.
Yeah, again, ridiculous. She also was asked if this vote furthers a divide in the Democratic Party. Play that clip.
Yeah. If I can just ask, there's already calls now from Democrats in the House that are saying Leader Schumer should step aside, he should be replaced. You know, the 8 of you today voting with Republicans to advance this plan to reopen the government, does that just further the divides within the Democratic Party right now?
No. When I talk to my constituents in New Hampshire, you know what they say to me? They say, why can't you all just work together to address the problems that are facing this country? We put the Senate back on a path to start doing that today, and we're going to continue to work that way.
No, You weren't just putting something back. You actually took nothing. She called it the only deal on the table. But stupid. Let me tell you this. An agreement that offers nothing tangible in return for surrendering political leverage, it's not a deal. It's a donation. These senators, like Shaheen, they gave away the only real bargaining chip that Democrats had. And that's the shutdown itself. That's how you get played in Washington, dummy. By making exhaustion, right? Mistaking exhaustion for compromise. Shaheen also said that no one wants to extend ACA tax cuts more than her. So again, let me ask you, Senator, why the hell then did you vote on it? Play the clip.
And this is only the first steps. So let me be clear. No one in the Senate chamber wants to extend the ACA tax credits more than I do. I introduced that legislation in 2019. I fought successfully to pass it in 2021 and 2023, and I am 100% committed to getting this done.
Yeah. Meanwhile, let me say something here. All right. First of all, that's the sickness at the core of this modern political arena that we're living in. Too many Democrats, like Senator Shaheen, they still care more about appearing reasonable than winning the damn fight. And Senator Maggie Hassan also tried to claim that if they open the government, the Republicans have to come to the table. Play the clip.
So my Democratic colleagues and I have been ready to work on this issue, on extending these tax cuts for months. With the government reopening shortly, Senate Republicans now finally have to come to the table. Or make no mistake, Americans will remember who stood in the way. So I urge Speaker Johnson to finally return the House of Representatives into session and quickly reopen the government.
Yeah, let me say this. Finally, I want to end on a clip from this morning of Maria Bartiromo, all right, as well as Dr. Oz talking about Trump's healthcare plan. Play that clip.
$350 billion. The full counter proposal continuing resolution rolls back the Medicaid savings of $1.5 trillion. Republicans are never going to go for that. So do you have a thought on how you want to see this play out once these subsidies do expire this year?
You always ask the right questions, Maria. So I spent a good part of the weekend with the White House working on exactly the answer to that question. We have lots of great ideas, but I don't want to show our cards. As the president often says, why would I telegraph to you what we're going to do? We have to have an open government. I need my top people around to be able to navigate the right solutions. We will support the American people. We always have. We want to do it in the right, responsible way. If we don't, it'll implode. If we hadn't fixed Medicaid with the one big beautiful...
Yeah, no, it won't. Let me say this to you. As long as Democrats, like these 8, keep making or mistaking weakness for wisdom, Trump and his loyalists like Oz will keep winning without even lifting a finger. And the rest of us, American people, we're going to keep paying the price for a government that's run on bad faith and broken promises. Because after all, know this, you can't fight tyranny with an olive branch. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.